Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I am excited that you guys are here today joining me. Today, I am going to dive a little bit more into the topic of human design and a look at my own personal journey with the human design system and how I've been applying it into my life. And I'm hoping this will inspire you to do a little bit more, maybe looking into it on your end to see how this could potentially apply to your life, to your business as well. So if we have not met, if you are new to this channel, my name is Jen Dice, and I'm a marketing strategist, and I am also a human design reader, and I am bringing you ways and tips on how to live your life in more alignment, and that includes in your business, in your marketing, and really building a business that is designed for you through the lens of human design. And how does that happen? How do we do that? How do we market our business in ways that work for us? That is how it all kind of blends together when you're looking at applying and looking at things through the lens of human design and creating something that is truly yours, truly designed for you. So welcome. I'm going to dive in a little bit today. So for a lot of you, many people are just not sure what human design is. Maybe you've heard of it. It's just this term that you've heard a little bit more. So I'm going to cover a little bit. Number one, what is human design? And then I'll kind of walk you through how I have been using it in my own personal business and life. So I'm just going to kind of go over a bigger definition to kind of help you understand and grasp what human design is. So human design, it's a new system of self-knowledge, and it differs fundamentally from anything else that exists today. It's not built on any belief or faith, but it's a logical, empirical system that offers you the opportunity to experiment with its mechanics and find out for yourself if it works for you. So I'm crediting what I'm talking about with what is human design to my Bodygraph. So Bodygraph is a software that I use. It is one of the best ways to pull your chart and kind of get some of this information that I'm going to talk to you guys about here today. So the human, my Bodygraph also defines it as like human design, and this is kind of where it really cements it in, but human design shows you a concrete map of your own nature and provides you with simple tools for making correct decisions, being yourself, and eliminating resistance in your life. Human design offers you the opportunity to discover yourself and begin to understand and accept your very nature. And it consists of several different systems and sciences, and it's actually more of a spiritual tool, and it blends in areas of astrology, both Eastern and Western, the chakra system, a little bit of the Kabbalah, and the I Ching. So all of those pieces are just kind of blended together to create this human design system. And from my own personal experience, I don't believe in anything being black or white. Because you're this energy type, this is your path and it's set in stone. As the definition, and this is one of my really good definition from my Bodygraph that I just read, it's an experiment. So we are always testing, we are always refining. Just because the system says you're X, Y, or Z, and that therefore this is your path, I don't believe in that hard and fast rule. We are all different. We are all individuals. We are all unique. We all have our own just personal like superpowers and magic within us. And I believe that that also plays a part in using this tool as well for your business and for your life. So that's just a little rundown of like what human design is, a little bit more of a broader definition of what it is. But basically, when it comes to looking into human design, like the first thing you're going to want to do is, so this is kind of my second tip, is looking at determining your energy type and your authority from there. So there are 5 different energy types depending on the way that you break out the system. You have generators, manifesting generators, projectors, manifestors, and reflectors. So all of those are kind of the different energy types that you could end up with. But depending on your chart, the way that those that energy, I guess, manifests in your life and in your business and how you work with it is going to be very different for every single person. So the first step, and this is if you're wanting to learn a little bit more about your personal design, I would go to mybodygraph.com. That is a great free tool where you can enter your birth data and you can pull your own chart, and it will give you a little bit of introductions to like what all of it means. It's a little bit more of a confusing tool when you first pull that chart, but it's something that once you kind of get into it a little bit and read what's the significant pieces of it, your number one, your energy type and your authority, you can get back into, you can dive down pretty deep into it. But from what I have also realized and have learned is that most of human design is all going to boil down to your working with your energy type and your strategy with that energy type and your authority. And that is what's going to ultimately help you make decisions in your life, in your business, that's going to actually fit with you and be aligned with you. So you're making decisions that work for you, not making a decision because somebody said you should do this or you should do that. This is how you can kind of come back to get a little bit more centered with yourself and really start to feel into and listen and tune into your body to make those decisions in your life and in your business. So determining your energy type, if you go to mybodygraph.com, you'll be able to pull up your energy type. For me, I'm just going to cover a little bit about what has worked for me and just what I have learned. So of the different types of energy types, I'm personally a generator. So with each energy type, you have a specific strategy. So with the generator, the strategy is to respond. And so what I have learned with this is with generators, we typically get pushed into this bucket that we have all this never ending energy and that we can expend that energy. But what I have learned is if you are expending that energy in the wrong way or the wrong places or things that aren't good for you or a good fit for you or right for you, but you're just doing it because you feel like you should, somebody told you to, you feel like you have to, that's a way for you to burn yourself out. And that was one thing I was doing, was putting in a lot of the energy in the wrong things in the wrong way. And that is something that can flow across like all of the energy types, is learning how to work with your energy type and with the certain centers that are defined. So you have that, how you can best tune into yourself to make those decisions. So that was one way that I learned that I needed to really focus in and figure out what works for me. And the way to do that is to then tune into your authority. So in the human design world, each of us has a specific like authority. So, and that kind of comes down to like the centers on your chart that are defined. There's a hierarchy of authority. So for me, being a generator, I have an emotional authority because that emotional center is defined. That solar plexus center for me is defined. And then so is my sacral center. That sacral center is kind of that life force energy. So I have my primary priority, main way of making decisions when it comes down to really listening and tuning into my body is through starting with that solar plexus and that emotional, making those decisions, timing it with my emotions, and then tuning into my sacral center or my gut. And the sacral center is what's going to help you, if you're a generator, determine what lights you up or not. If you really start to focus in on that, you'll get that gut reaction to things of like, that's a hell yes, or nope, that's not for me. And then the next hierarchy goes into some of the other centers that I won't get into today. But for me, it's that emotional authority. But for an emotional authority, it's figuring out how to time it so that I'm not making a decision when I'm an emotional high or I'm at an emotional low. I have to wait until that emotional wave within me kind of neutralizes a little bit, and then kind of tune into that secondary authority center, which is my sacral center, and I can make decisions from there. So if you have that primary solar plexus is your main authority, depending on your energy type, the solar plexus is going to tell you when to make a decision, but not how to decide. So that's where you can kind of tag team from that solar plexus into that sacral center. And so for me, it's just a matter of sometimes giving things a little bit of time, understanding how I'm feeling, getting a feel, and getting more of a feel for your emotional ups and downs throughout the days, weeks, months, and those kinds of things. So you can track that. But then really tuning in and feeling with my gut, because sometimes I'll be presented with something and instantly I know the answer in my gut. Like I know it's a yes, or I know it's a no. But sometimes I'll take a step back and say, okay, well, this is what I'm feeling right now, but I have to make sure that I'm not, way up here or way down here when that decision is being made within my gut. So within that sacral center. And so sometimes if it's a bigger decision, like I've had before, and I've been presented with something where it's a bigger decision and my gut was like, that's a no. Sometimes I'm like, well, maybe I will just kind of let that wave neutralize, and then I'll think about it, and then I'll see how I feel like tomorrow morning. And then if I check back in and I'm still getting that same response, and it's like, okay, my gut was right the first time, I'm going to go with that. So those types of things. But if you have that sacral authority in general, it's about, you can use it to make smaller decisions, like what you want to eat, where you want to go for dinner, what movie you want to watch. Like you don't have to sit and wait for that your emotions to neutralize to make those smaller decisions. So I know that I'm in tune with that authority within me. And the more you start to feel that in your body, you're going to know instantly when somebody asks you about something, or when you have that point where you can respond, you're going to just know, like, if this is a yes or this is a no. But again, it's figuring out where you're at with that authority. So I hope this was helpful. It's just a little bit of an introduction into like what human design is, how it has worked for me, how I have been applying it. I've given you just a teeny little snippet of my own authority and my own energy type and authority. And I hope to be coming back to you guys with some more information on just what it is, how you can apply it for your life. But not only that, for me, I'm applying this more and more and more to the decisions that I'm making within my business and to how I am choosing to show up and market my business. And that is where with the marketing that I've been doing, the clients that I've been working with their marketing, this piece is something that blends right in so that you are ultimately creating marketing systems that are aligned with you. They light you up. They don't drain you. So that is something I have seen quite often in the entrepreneur world, where we learn somebody else's system, and because it worked for this person, we think, well, if I just do the work and if I just take the steps and do the thing and market the way this person told me to, then it's all going to work and I'm going to make the same amount of money. And that's not always the case, because sometimes what this coach over here is doing, the launching that they're doing, the products, the containers, the offers, sometimes that works for somebody else and it's a proven system, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's designed for you, or you're designed to like step into that and fulfill that. And sometimes you are. It's just a matter of figuring that out. And that's where a lot of us kind of, and I have done this too, where I have done what other coaches have taught, other programs have taught. And it always was like, I can do the work because I'm a generator and I can tap into this and I can just do all the work and keep showing up and keep doing. But if you ignore that authority and you ignore that inner voice, that inner wisdom, that is where you can get yourself on a path and on a road to burning out in your marketing and in your business. So I hope to bring you more tips on this. If this is the first time you're catching me on this channel, click subscribe below. We are going to be covering all things marketing your business in alignment, human design, and really creating a business that is designed for you. So click subscribe and get my new videos that talk about all things human design and marketing as well. And if you would like to join our community, the Marketing by Design community, I will drop the link below. I go into more depth in there, more lives and more topics, and you can actually interact with me a little bit more in there if you have questions surrounding like your design and what to do next when it comes to marketing in your business. All right. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you back again next time. All right. Bye, everybody.